Okay, boys and girls, today's science lesson is for Friday the 17th. And today we're going to do a simple science lesson that hopefully you can do at home with just some of the things that you have lying around. So we have eggs here. We have 2 glasses with regular tap water. It doesn't matter if it's warm or cold. We have a measuring utensil, and this is a teaspoon, so 1 teaspoon. And Quinn, can you hold that up? So just simple salt. So if you grab an egg, so Quinn, will you hold it, but don't put it in yet? Take a quick prediction. If Quinn puts the egg in this cup, do you think don't put it in yet, do you think it's gonna float or sink? We'll give you a second. And then Quinn, go ahead and drop it in. Wait until I say go so we can see it. Go. So it sunk. So the reason that eggs sink when they're put in regular tap water has to do with something called density. Density can be a little confusing because it has to do with how much space an object takes up compared to the space or objects around it. But the simple way to say is, if it's small and heavy, then it has what's called a high density. If it's big and light, then it has a low density, which means something like a pillow has a low density and something like a brick has a high density. Things with high densities tend to sink, and things with low densities tend to not. All right, Quinny. So what we're going to do is we're going to add regular salt to this glass. Now, we had to kind of play around with this the other day. Well, Quinn, we're supposed to measure it, but Quinn just dumping a bunch in. Really, we're supposed to that's probably good, buddy. We're supposed to put in about five of the teaspoons of salt. Now, if you look at this, this thing has got a bunch of salt, and then Quinn really went to town. I would suggest kind of stirring it up. So Quinn, I'm going to hand you a straw, okay, and then we can kind of. Yeah, a spoon will work. So go ahead and stir that up. Okay, now go ahead and put that on the side. And boys and girls, make a prediction. Quinn, just a second. Make a prediction if you think this egg is going to float or if it's going to sink. And then Quinn, wait till I say go so we can kind of track it. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, that's crazy. So this egg sunk when we put it in regular tap water, but this egg floated when you put it in a salt water. Now, when we first tried this, we didn't put in enough salt and the egg sunk. So we have to put in a decent amount. I would say put in at least 5 teaspoons, maybe a little. So the big thing is, if you put an egg in a cup of tap water, it'll sink to the bottom. So why is this? It's because the density of the egg is higher than the density of the tap water. So it sinks. But if you add enough salt to the water, the egg will actually float back up to the surface. Adding salt to the water increases the density of the solution because the salt increases the mass, and that's a big word, without changing the volume very much. So mass and volume are part of density, okay? So hopefully it's a cool little project that you guys can try at home. And in a few minutes, we're gonna have art with Eli.